call this meeting to order, please, of the Portage Township Advisory Board. Roll call, please.
Gina Ray Maldonado, here. Tiffany Gully,
Here.
Nikita Momona, here. Brendan Clancy,
Here.
Clay Patterson.
Would the Gully guys like to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So we have the reading of the Township Board minutes from our last meeting. Board members, you guys should all have a copy of those. It is from our May 20th meeting. Any comments, corrections, or questions about the meeting minutes?
No. No.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. I'll second. Okay, communication correspondence announcements from the Trustees National Night Out, South Haven Community Open House. Do we have any questions or anything on that?
We'll just go out of order. Do you have anything about?
Oh, I just wanted to remind everybody that tonight is National Night Out and that it's actually a pretty big event in the South Haven community, and I appreciate the partnership with the Sheriff's Office and the amount of equipment and people and time that they dedicated to it makes me pretty happy. And
I think they
that
had like a
people-
dozen vehicles there last year.
Yeah, they're very, very, very good. So I wanted a shout out to that. And there's a lot of cool stuff going on there too. And the Salvation Army is giving away free backpacks for back to school, in addition to about 15 other groups that are going to be there. So if anybody can make that tonight, it's beautiful weather and it should be pretty neat to go to.
Okay.
And then,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, South Haven Community Open House. Chief, do you have anything on the fire end of it? Or is that strictly Inc.?
That's Inc.
Okay. So that's coming up in September. They're gonna have, this is, I think their second or third.
This will be the third, and this year's a little bit bigger. I believe they're gonna have a band and some other stuff going, so.
Yeah, but it's very family oriented. They're gonna have a band and a lot of
Craft tables
local
and-
vendors and crafters and stuff. And it was very popular last year. They did really good, so it's a really neat community outreach kind of thing. So we'll keep you guys posted on that.
All right, any communication, correspondence, or announcements from the
Oh,
board?
I'm sorry, if I may? If I
Sure.
can jump the agenda, if we could
Sure.
rearrange it a little?
Yeah.
We have a guest here that we wanted to recognize a while back.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh no, where's my speech? I'll have to wing it. All right. So Portage Township has been very fortunate to have an organization like Gabriel's Horn that was actually founded with members of the past township and residents of South Haven and then Portage. And it's become not only an important part of our community, but for emergency services and help for women with children throughout Porter County. And first, I'd like to recognize the county for allowing us to go after our funds for their expansion. But more importantly, I wanted to recognize the past president who dedicated a lot of years to his life, and of his time and his expertise. I wanted to take a moment to thank Ron Necco. Ron, if you could come up. Just hang out right there for a second. I gotta find your hardware.
Good job.
First of all, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. Appreciate the partnership with you guys, and without the trustee's office and their various community organizations, Gabriel's Horn wouldn't be able to exist solely just on donations alone, so.
And without your leadership, it wouldn't be there either, so we appreciate
We all play our
everything.
part and appreciate
certificate. Portage Township, Brendan Clancy proclamation to all to whom these presents may come greeting. Whereas Ron Necco is dedicated to serving and enhancing his community, and whereas Ron Necco has served in many leadership roles in his community, including union representative for Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters for 13 years, board member for the City of Portage Board of Works for 3 years, and whereas Ron Necco is a 26-year member of the Millwright Local 1043-1076, where he has served as the financial secretary, treasurer, state delegate, and international delegate for multiple terms. And whereas Ron Necco has served as the vice president of the building trade sector to the NWI Federation of Labor for 2 terms, and on the Kids Chance of Indiana Board of Directors for 4 years. And whereas Ron Necco is passionate about the cause of homelessness, serving from 2015 to 2024 on the board of Gabriel's Horn Homeless Shelter for Women and Children. The last 4 of his 10-year term, Ron Necco assumed the position of board president, where he was instrumental in raising funds to pay off the shelter's mortgage, manage sizable expansion and maintenance projects, and set plans in place for the future shelter expansion to meet the growing needs of the Portage Township community. Whereas Ron Necco has exemplified caring, compassionate leadership, and the future stability and growth of Gabriel's Horn Homeless Shelter for Women and Children, and therefore be it resolved on behalf of all the citizens of Portage Township, Porter County, in the great state of Indiana, the Portage Township Trustee hereby recognizes Ron Necco for his selfless years of dedication and service to the safety and well-being of Portage Township family and residents. Thank you.
Appreciate everything you guys have helped do along the way.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Any communication, correspondence, announcements from board members? No?
Not that I know.
All right, so we'll start out with the reports from the township department heads. Did you have a specific order you wanted to go in today?
Let's start with the first name alphabetically.
All right, and my name is Avery Evans. I'm the site manager of the Bonner Senior Community Center. For the month of July, our attendance was up with an average of 97 people signing in per day. We also had 37 new members in the month of July, and the most comparable month to that had 28, so that was definitely higher. Today, we had Grandparents' Day as kind of our main event this month. We had around 140 people in the building. And I would like to thank Winnemac Car Club for coming with the cars. The kids love them. The Portage Township Parks Department and our maintenance team for bringing over those games and getting them set up. And of course, the staff for helping put this on. It went over very well. And then this past month, we also had Senior Day at Porter County Fair. A lot of the Bonner groups performed there. They were the entertainment. And then we had the Honored Senior Program, and that was in conjunction with the Mayor Senior Advisory Committee. And then another number that has went up is our trip signups. They have basically all had a full bus over the past month. Specifically, the Chicago Riverboat Tour had so much interest that we added a second bus. And then we also have a Saturday trip we'll do in October that I think will be popular.
Awesome.
Any questions or anything like that?
No? Thank you.
Thank you.
I think you would be next alphabetically.
I would. Thank you for noticing. My name's Brandon Cotton. I'm the fire chief for South Haven. Wasn't quite sure what all you guys want here tonight, this afternoon. Figured I'd start with some numbers. Right now for this year, we're at 888 calls. For the EMS side, our average shoot time, which is from the time the tongue drops to the time we're out the door right now, is at 1 minute and 4 seconds, which is pretty good. I got to give it to the 911 center because they now do something called a pre-alert, so it lets you know they're starting a dispatch. So now you got another minute or two to kind of get up, get ready, and get out the door before the tone actually drops for the call. So it's definitely helping us get out the door quicker and get to the patient quicker. For the fire side, obviously, we're a combination department, so we have volunteers, paramedics are there 24 hours a day. For the fire side, it's not horrible, honestly. Our shoot time is 4 minutes and 50 seconds right now. So So that's people getting the call at home, getting in their vehicle, driving to the station, and still getting out the door from the time the tone drops. So 4 minutes and 50 seconds, I can't complain about that.
No?
I don't know if it was brought up last time, I didn't get to make it last time. We just got a new engine in April. Actually, the first night we put it in service was our first fire. We went to Liberty for a structure fire and got to use it on the first night. So that truck has been an amazing addition to the fleet. It's a great truck, short wheelbase, makes it easy for us to get around and get where we need to go. Just recently, the past few days, we took a delivery of a remount, meaning we took an old ambulance we had, sent it out, they took the box off of it, put a new truck on it. It just showed up the other day, hoping to have it in service within the next week or two. We gotta get it certified still, so it takes a little bit of time for state to show up and kind of go through it with us. So within the next week or two, we're hoping to have it on the road and start to run calls. We had been approved for a brand new ambulance. It is still in the works. It was supposed to be here in about 2 more weeks. When we went to pick up the remount, we looked at it and they put the wrong chassis on it.
Oh, no.
So they put the wrong truck on the with the box. So they were working on rectifying that, taking some cost off, helping us out a little bit. So we may not see that one until next year sometime. We had a garage fire the other day. Time of call was at 7:21 in the morning, and by 7:40 the fire was out. So I think it was 5 minutes before the first chief was on scene. It was like 9 minutes before the engine was on scene, and then within 11 minutes they basically had the fire out, and we were mopping up, cleaning up, and helping the homeowner out a little bit. Had a little incident, one of the rescues. One of our paramedics actually had an incident. She was having some severe stomach pain, leg pain. She ended up getting transported by Portage to Hobart. I don't want to get into details about her health. I don't think that would be right, but she's back home. She's doing good. She'll be off for a little bit. In the meantime, while Portage was pulling up, we think their rescue actually got off the street a little too far, put a little divot in the homeowner's yard, so we're working on filling that back in, putting some seed in, and cleaning that little mess up for them. Other than that, Knights of Columbus had helped us out, and they did a fundraiser, and they got us a baby box that we put in at the station. It was just put in probably about 2 weeks ago where it was finished. We have to do 7 days of testing. We had a busy night the other night, and we missed one of the testing days. Now we have to do it again, so it's 7 more days of testing before we can get it in service and running and working properly. So we're hoping by, I think, the 9th or 10th, we should be able to have it fully functioning, ready to go. I know I need to get with you guys after that. We'll do a nice little press thing and get it out there so people know it's there. We have an open paramedic position. We're getting ready to offer to the next person on the list. Hoping for 2 to 3 weeks from now, we should have them kind of in the system, working and get them going. And I think that pretty much covers it, unless you guys have a question for me.
No, I just wanted to note that the baby box too, they raised enough money to pay for the box, the installation of the box, and for years of the maintenance of the box, because it's hooked up to a camera system, it's hooked, or to a alarm system.
Right.
So it's monitored, and then it's inspected constantly. So they raise funds to basically.
And I should
take care of it.
recognize, 1-800 Board Up in United Way actually donated all the labor of installing it, getting it all together for us, being there when the alarm system went in to make sure everything was correct and working properly. So big shout out to them to help offset some costs and getting it installed. So yeah, other than that, if you don't have any questions, I'll take my seat.
Nope. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
service.
All right, Trey, I think that just leaves you.
My name is Trey Rivas. I'm the Director of Cemeteries for Portage Township. At the previous meeting in May, I reported some slower numbers for the month of April before, but good numbers for the year so far. And I can say those numbers have continued. The year-to-date total as of July of 2025 surpassed the yearly total for all of 2023 and should surpass the yearly total for 2024 by end of September at this rate. This is in large part due to the volume of burial and cremation spaces that we're selling. So we've sold over 32 of those combined this year as compared to 23 at this time last year. 20 of those spaces being in the brand new sections, burial sections and columbarium spaces, and 16 of those 20 are veteran. So the veteran section is proving to be popular with the success of our Memorial Day event, in which Congressman Frank Mervan dubbed the new section the Arlington of NWI. It was a hefty compliment, but it was appreciated. Each of the military branch flags are represented, including Space Force, along with a Vietnam War soldier and an Afghanistan War soldier. A third statue, a bronze battlefield cross, is to be placed near the American and POW flagpole once the granite base arrives in about mid-November. Another update at Blake Cemetery, the fence lines along Blake Road and Concord Avenue are underwork to be replaced. The chain link has been stretched and retied many times, and the poles have had to been replaced over the years, and due to failing paint and forever falling branches from the many trees that surround Blake Cemetery and are within Blake Cemetery. The trustee, the facilities director, and myself decided it was time to replace those, which will enhance the Blake Cemetery aesthetic and maintain compliance with the Indiana Code for cemetery fences and upkeep. That's all I have.
Quick question. I think it was either earlier this year or towards the end of last year, we talked about the delay in getting headstones put in. Have you guys seen an improvement in that this year?
We have. We've seen an improvement. This was the first year that after our first pour of the year, we had no more orders from the end of last year. So we stopped pouring in the fall, depending on the weather, and in the winter, just because concrete needs certain circumstances to set. And we have seen a dip in foundation orders, but that's because a lot of the cemetery is already prearranged for. That's part of the reason why we expanded. But yeah, not many complaints.
Oh, good. Anybody else? No. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Trey.
All right, so up next, we've got reports from township employee liaisons to community boards. Do you have anybody for that?
So Gabriel's Horn didn't meet,
Okay.
so
I have a report for trustees.
they were off in July. You want to do trustees report?
I can do trustees and Portage Resource Center and PTAC.
Cool.
My name is Rebecca Allen. I am the Chief of Staff for the Portage Township Trustee. I'm going to start with assistance that we help provide for the food pantry. In July, they served 557 individuals. The number of new families served in July was 20. This number is slightly up from the month of June. We've been seeing a slight increase on food pantry applicants every month for a while now. Also, something that we do that we haven't talked about at the meeting before is that we track homeless situations, homeless calls that come in. Sometimes individuals are just calling for information. We try to ask the questions to gather as much information about that individual as possible. Our protocol is to give them all the information and resources that we have for their specific situation. If they are a Portage Township resident, we ask them to fill out an application with us so that we can determine how best we can assist them. That might sometimes include a referral to a shelter. Every situation is unique. It just varies by individual. So in June, we had 6 homeless calls that we tracked. Of those, 2 were Portage Township residents. In July, we had 15 homeless calls. Of those, 8 were Portage Township residents. Take note that saying that they're a homeless individual it can vary from they're actually living on the streets to they're staying with family members or couch surfing or staying in a hotel. We do get a lot of individuals that are staying in hotels. Then that brings us to applications for utility assistance. That number has actually been down this month, but we believe and actually know the reason why. When an individual or a client comes in seeking utility assistance, they have to give us their disconnect, and we automatically call our people at NIPSCO to see if that disconnect is active. And what we have found in the last month is that due to extreme heat and NIPSCO being on work overload, is what they say, they've been canceling the disconnects. So we haven't given out as much assistance for utility disconnects because they're canceling the disconnects. So once that disconnect is canceled, we can no longer assist. So we let the client know they can come back and reapply if their disconnect gets reissued. So I would say the utility assistance has probably been cut in half this month because of those disconnects being canceled.
But we're probably
But-
gonna see it double next month.
Yes, so due to the rate increases, we are expecting an increase of need and assistance for which we are, of course, prepared for. Another thing is we have an after-hour phone line for extreme weather emergency situations. I can give you guys that phone number. It's 219-741-9442. If there are extreme weather alerts or anything like that, we try to put this information on our social media page to let people know. I usually keep that phone with me unless I'm on vacation. Ashley, our township assistance manager, will keep that phone with her. I've had somebody call, I think I've had 3 phone calls on it. But it's there if it's needed. Our local police department and fire department know how to get a hold of Brendan 24 hours a day, and then sometimes I'm next in line. So that is all I have for the trustee office. Any questions?
I would just, so one of the reasons of creating that phone number was that when there were extreme heat waves or there was extreme cold, we used to open the Bonner Center as an emergency shelter, and we even had it, stocked with cots. It's got a backup generator and everything. And I think in maybe the 8 to 10 times we probably did it in the first 5 years, I don't think, we may have had one person show up. So it just seemed to be a lot more effective, cost effective to do it that way with the emergency phone number. And then that person could get directly taken care of and put into facilities where they're not on a cot. So it just seemed to make sense, and I think that it's worked out.
All right.
Okay.
Next, I do have a report from Joy, the Deputy Chief of Staff, who is over at our Portage Resource Center on Airport Road. She said that the new outdoor sign was installed during the week of July 7th. The ribbon cutting that we had after that sign install was very well attended. We had a large number, I would say over 50, 60 people. So thank you to the township board members for attending and your support on that. Numbers served at the Portage Township Resource Center with the partners. So Work One reported serving 215 in June, and they served 248 in July. The Northwest Indiana Food Bank took 12 applications in June and 8 applications in July. Their total year-to-date from July was 151. Gabriel's Horn, they have an office space in the Resource Center. They said in June, all 10 rooms were filled. In July, 7 rooms are filled, and they have a waiting list of 24. Family Promise of Porter County, in July, they served 38 families, including 69 adults and 93 children. Year-to-date, they have served 114 families, including 200 adults and 253 children. Families that are currently on their waiting list are 12. There was a note here from the Family Promise Executive Director, Jason Kegabine. He said to please extend my heartfelt thanks to the Portage Township trustee and board members for their beautiful sign out front and the incredible ribbon cutting ceremony. It was truly a special moment. Also, thank you for providing us the opportunity to serve the community in our new space at the current PRA building. Family Promise has entered into a partnership with Portage Recovery Association and will be sharing the building to further expand our shelter program. The blueprints for the building, remodeling, and improvements are near completion. We are now waiting on our final figures for our grant submission. We're also working with the city to expedite a couple code changes, which will aid in keeping the project moving forward. This expansion will allow us to reach more families and offer a greater sense of stability and support. We are incredibly grateful to Portage Township for the continued partnership, encouragement, and trust in our mission. We hope to start serving families at this new location by winter. Together, we are making a difference.
Very nice.
And then we move to PTAC, the Portage Township Autism Action Coalition. Is that next on the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay. Last month, PTAC distributed 140 sensory kits to the Burns Harbor, Chesterton, Hebron, Couts, Porter, and Valparaiso Police Departments, thanks to the grants from the Porter County Community Foundation. PTAC has previously provided kits to the Porter County Sheriff's Department, Portage, and Ogden Dunes Police Departments. I think we've talked about that before. In conjunction with the sensory kits, autism puzzle pieces, window clings are now available at all police departments in Porter County as well. Parents may obtain the 3 clings, of which they want free of charge, to place in their car windows or window or door of their home to let first responders know an individual on the autism spectrum is either in the vehicle or the home. PCCF grant funding will be used to host a regional autism training workshop on October 16th at the Portage High School. Jerry Turning, a retired police officer and father of a 21-year-old autistic son, will return to Portage to provide the free workshop to first responders and others in Porter, Lake, and LaPorte counties. The last note I have here is with the PTAC expansion of the new Blue Envelope program throughout the county. Since the program launched in April of 2025, the police departments have distributed 48 packets of the material. The materials are also available at the Valparaiso and Portage branches of the BNB. Porter County is also considered a pilot program for the state of Indiana after State Representative Chuck Mosley, who is here with us today, introduced legislation in January to adopt the program statewide. Mosley and state officials agreed to initially utilize Porter County as the pilot program. I'll let you.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
And we have a proclamation for that,
okay.
right? No questions, thank you.
So the workshop that's being done by the police officer, he is actually pretty internationally renowned, and he speaks all over the country. So we're very lucky to get him in the region, and we will see Lake and Porter County and people from the surrounding area come to this. We did it for the first time
2 years
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
It was good.
It was very good, and I think everybody that went appreciated it, and so, and it's very informative for
Yes.
first responders, which is basically.
The target audience.
Yes. With that being said, if the project wouldn't exist without State Representative Mosley, so we wanted to recognize him. If you could, sir. We don't give out one of these like every 2 years, and tonight it's like candy. Thank you on behalf of Portage Township for everything.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate what you did and making that program possible and having the ingenuity and insight to get it done the way you did. It is greatly appreciated. Portage Township running Clancy proclamation to all to whom these presents may come greeting. Whereas Chuck Mosley resides in and raised his family in Portage Township, Indiana, and whereas Chuck Mosley has dedicated his life to helping others and his country by serving in the Army National Guard, and whereas Chuck Mosley has been an active, caring advocate for the Portage Township community, serving as a board member on many government committees and organizations, including past president of the Greater Portage Chamber of Commerce, past president of the Portage Township School Board, as well as past member of the Portage Planning Commission, Portage Park Department, Portage Port Authority, and the Friends of Portage Township Foundation, Inc. And whereas Representative Chuck Mosley was first elected to the Indiana House of Representatives in November of 2008, and whereas Representative Chuck Mosley serves as a member of the Employment, Labor, and Pensions Committee, the Financial Institutions Committee, Veterans Affairs Committee, and Public Safety Committee for the Indiana House of Representatives, and whereas Representative Chuck Mosley authored and presented House Bill 1179, the Blue Envelope Program, to the House floor on July 1st, 2025, which establishes the Blue Envelope Program for the purpose of enhancing effective communication between law enforcement and drivers with autism spectrum disorder. And whereas Representative Chuck Mosley is leading the initiative to establish the Blue Envelope Program as a statewide program, establishing Porter County as the pilot program for the state of Indiana, and therefore, be it resolved on behalf of all the citizens of Portage Township, Porter County, in the great state of Indiana, the Portage Township trustee hereby recognizes Representative Chuck Mosley for his insightful leadership and forward-thinking initiative in support of Porter County first responders and the vulnerable Portage Township families with members diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You talk and do it.
Well, about a year ago this time, Joyce Russell, who works with the Portage Township Trustee's Office, approached me with the idea of the Blue Envelope Program. I did file the bill. There was a lot of, there became concerns of not being prepared for the proper budgeting with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles in Indiana. So rather than move the bill forward at that time, I collaborated with the B&B and with Joyce in the Township Trustee's Office, as well as my fellow members in the House of Representatives, and offered the compromise or the opportunity that Porter County would become a pilot program for the entire state. And also born out of that was very strong collaboration with Sheriff Ballard of Porter County, along with the Indiana Sheriff's Association, who endorsed the concept and supported the pilot. And now the pilot is in its beginning stages, basically. And it's our goal and it's our hope that in 3 years, when the pilot is ready to sunset, which means it's no longer going to be there, that we'll be in a position where we can have a data-driven pilot that will prove to the state and to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles that this is a worthwhile endeavor, it's a worthwhile project, and it literally saves lives, and it enhances the collaboration and understanding between law enforcement and people with behavioral health problems throughout the state of Indiana. And at that time, it's my plan and it's my intention that we'll take this program statewide. And Porter County will be able to enjoy being the leader in throughout the state to bring this project to fruition and make it a statewide program forever and ever. Amen, I hope. So that's how it all went down. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck.
Okay.
All right, well, that brings us down to new business. So we have board discussion and approval of Bonner Center Membership Code of Conduct. Board, you should have copies. Brendan, or I guess Avery, do you want to highlight what changes are being made? Or Becky? Which one?
Or Clay.
Or Clay? Anybody?
Rarely is that.
It was cleaned up just a little bit to be more encompassing and to also have life in the event that if there's other changes. I think that by signing the membership application, you agree to abide by the membership guide and code of conduct as prescribed for the Bonner Senior Community Center, including any amendments to the same. So in the event that there was something amended, that we don't have to send out 283 sheets of paper for them to re-sign. It quite frankly came to fruition, or came up again, because there were incidents, and I received some complaints. Well, Avery did, and she let me know about issues with people wearing political stuff at the center. So this hopefully is
Specific enough?
more specific to cover those issues.
Okay.
And I think everything else, for the most part, is exactly the same, with the exception of those two things.
So are
That's
these
the only two
changes,
changes, right?
have these changes, or are these changes being communicated
They will.
to members in a certain, like, is there,
They will be.
okay?
Yes.
And then would that be the same anytime an amendment is made, that there would be some kind of
Oh,
communication?
yeah,
shared?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions? No? All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. I second it.
Do all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye. All right, so we've got board discussion of South Haven Fire Inc. contract.
So that's going really, really well, except for they don't know about it yet. So we have been in communication, but they have had some transition in their leadership team over there. So we're going to be approaching that. Hopefully, my goal is to get it done within 2 weeks so that it's on the agenda for the next meeting to be approved. It's not that extensive, but it's something that needs to be updated. So. And that's with South Haven Fire Inc., not with our
So this is not ready for approval,
paramedics
right?
union. No,
Okay.
it was up for discussion. I was hoping it would be, but it's
Okay.
not as of yet.
Board, any questions or comments on this?
No questions.
All right. So then up next on the new business, we have board discussion and approval of the addendum to the South Haven Fire Union Local 5221 contract for emergency hiring.
So in layman's terms, this extends the time that a EMT has to become a paramedic, I believe, I think it's up to a year. So it's increased so that it's just very difficult to find people at this time that can get it that fast if most of them are not already paramedics. So they go to school, and that actually, the whole process takes a while. And if they do have to go more than once, that could be over a year in its own right. So they had come to us and asked us to make that change to the contract.
Okay. And this is the same clause that we changed either earlier this year, right?
Yes.
To make the accommodation that we can preferentially hire somebody who is already a paramedic if there's applicants,
Yes,
or continue with this process.
yes.
Okay, so the only change we're making this time is just to extend that.
Extend the time that they have to get it.
Okay. Any questions, guys? All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. I'm lost. First. Okay, do all approve?
Aye.
Okay, first.
All right, so next up, we've got board discussion and approval of the Lesnick Memorial Stone being returned to the family.
So when the sign and the flowers and everything were being redone out in front, there was a stone that was, when the building was dedicated, and it was actually on the outside of the parking lot next to Airport Road, which was moved when they redid that stuff. And one of the family members asked if they could have it, and I didn't see why not. I just wanted to get your permission.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm good with that. Is there a motion to
Yeah,
approve?
Motion to approve, I firsted. Second. Okay, I'll approve.
Aye. Board discussion and approval of a portion of the lit funds to be allocated from Porter County to Portage Township.
So we're probably 2 or 3 years ahead of our time. But I would just like it to be known that Portage Township will fully intend to go after the township funding, that it will be made available in House Bill 1 and/or 1461, I think it's in 1, that would allow counties to approve funding and a portion of the lit, which I believe is 0.02%. And I would just like to inform the board that that's my intent, and I also wanted to also let the county know. The way that the bill is drafted and the way that some other bills they have drafted, the state of Indiana is actually encouraging counties and municipalities to create local income taxes, and they're also making it easier for them to do. In addition to wheel taxes, they actually, with the wheel tax, they have created a way that where if cities or counties do not have a wheel tax, they cannot get their 100% of funding for roads. So the state is creating an atmosphere and creating a necessity for all intents and purposes, and making it, quite frankly, easier to do. So obviously that's our intent. But I just want to be ahead of the game and let the county be on notice that we, as the largest township serving the largest community in the county, will be looking for their help.
Now, is these lit funds, is this lit already in place, or are we expecting them to?
It's not. I'm assuming that the county will have to do it because I don't know how else they're going to fund
Right.
government. But I mean, that's obviously up to them.
Right, okay.
But in the event that that does happen, that's something that would probably take place in 2028, with it being processed in 2027, I believe, is the way the law is written.
Okay. So so at that point, then we're just approving the trustee to communicate to the county that we have that intention, should
And
this.
to incorporate it into my planning. I want to do
Yeah.
the 3 to 5 year financial plan so that we're stable regardless of what happens, and that I can explore all venues.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
First it, Gina. Second. All right, all approve? Okay.
Aye. All right, the last thing we have under new business is a resolution 2025-05 employee handbook changes. So there's a copy of that in your papers.
So the intention of this is because the maintenance department, unlike other departments that, let's say our office is open 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, there are stable hours, whereas the maintenance department, those guys might come in at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning or whatever, or have to work weekends for different events.
Yeah.
So this gives them the flexibility to do that
Okay.
while obviously working the same amount of hours, but.
I mean, so this is something that they're probably already doing, we're just formalizing it?
It's something that they did in the past and that
Okay.
they weren't doing for a while, and then it became very difficult to find ways to do things, so it was the right way to do it.
Okay.
I just needed to fix it because in the handbook, there was nothing ever in the handbook
Right.
specifically for them. We just did it.
Okay.
So we need to make it correct.
All right, is there a motion?
Motion to approve. All right, I'll second. All right, all approve?
Aye.
Any opposed?
One last thing that I wanted to bring up, I guess I could have brought it up under the board member section, but I didn't think of it then. Just to keep you guys up to date, Brendan and I have had several conversations with the mayor of Portage, Mayor Bonta, as well as Dan Bowditch on the RDC for Portage. We still do not have paperwork, unless you've received something.
I have not.
Letting us know what our potential impact is from the allocation areas that the city is wanting to pass, which is going to be a total of 5 neighborhood subdivisions. Right now, there's 2 that they're pursuing this for. I know Brandon has reached out a few times. We keep being told we're gonna get it. We still don't have it. But we have since learned that there has been a change to some of the information that I previously shared with you guys, in that the developers are looking at getting 25% of those funds back. And we are still pursuing some type of formal agreement for the township. So as we learn more, hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have more information and hopefully some impact paperwork to share with you guys as well.
Okay.
Public input, is there anybody here that would like to speak to the board? No? All right, then is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion first, second. All right, all approve?
Aye.
Any opposed? First.
Meeting adjourned.